Hamilton, me and my father had been homebrewers together for a long time, and we'd always had ambitions to, or kicked around the idea of opening a distillery, but just for different reasons didn't pull the trigger. And then we got more heavily into planning it and thinking more and more about it. Once we realized that we were misunderstanding the law and that you could actually do it in Alabama, we were under the misconception that it was illegal to do it at all in Alabama. When we found out we could, we got a little more serious about the planning. And then when my daughter was born, because my previous job had me traveling all the time, I was only home about a week out of every month, we decided that was as good a reason as any to go ahead and pull the trigger and get it open. For whiskey production, you start with a malted grain that we bring in. We smoke the grain with peach and pecan wood. We then mill the grain. Then we mash the grain by mixing with water and getting it to a certain temperature, which effectively converts all the starch in the grain into sugar. We then transfer the fluid out of that mash, which is called wort, into a fermenter where the yeast is added, and the yeast eat the sugar and create alcohol. We've essentially made what we call a distiller's beer. And then from there, that gets transferred to the still after it's about roughly 8 to 9% alcohol. And in the still, we convert it into whiskey there by distilling it down and separating the alcohol and flavors from the distiller's beer. The single malt whiskey is definitely my favorite. It was the thing we set out to make originally, the main product, and it's sort of our flagship product. The best part is just, seeing all the things tasting the product after you did all these steps that, takes almost a year before you actually have something to go, particularly whiskey, to say, this is what I made. So all that time, so many different things happen that are just through nature, some of the things that, I did myself. Just as kind of a culmination of different things that makes this wonderful product at the end of the whole thing. Since my daughter being born was the reason we decided to open, and the future of our family was part of why we did this, we looked to our past to name it. And so John Emerald is my grandfather's first and middle name. Each product is named after a different family member. Hugh Wesley's gin is my great-grandfather. Gene Spicedrum is my grandfather on my mother's side. Spurgeon's rum, which we haven't released yet, is my great-grandfather on my dad's side. Elizabeth is every other woman in my family. That's the name of our vodka. So we're naming the product after ancestors, basically.
Well, the favorite part, really, honestly, I think, is watching people enjoy our product responsibly, and we get to do that here in the tasting room, and it's really, really nice. We have a lot of feedback on the products we make, and it's just again a lot of fun watching people enjoy what we make.